You're eating clean, you're doing everything right, but you're still having flare-ups. Why are they happening? So you went on Google and you started to look up what to eat with autoimmune disease. And now you're more confused than ever. In this video, I'm going to explain why your body is reacting to foods, even foods that you used to not have a problem with, and what you can do about it. I'm Jennifer Franchak. I'm a functional nutritionist, and I help professional, family-focused women in their 30s to 50s who have been diagnosed with autoimmune disease to stop guessing and start healing so that they can enjoy their lives without worrying about when the next flare-up is going to happen. Okay, so let's talk about what's actually going on underneath the surface when you feel like everything you eat is triggering a flare-up. And spoiler alert, it all has to do with your immune system and your gut health. You can think of your immune system kind of like the neighborhood watchdog, okay? It's supposed to bark when there's real danger. But with autoimmune disease, it's so on edge that it starts barking at the mailman and the passing cars or even a falling leaf. And when it comes to your body reacting to food, those false alarms might be eggs or spinach or tomatoes. They're not dangerous foods, but because your gut lining is compromised, your immune system mistakes them for threats and goes on high alert. This is what we call leaky gut or intestinal permeability. And this is when tiny holes in your gut lining are allowing undigested food particles and bacteria into your bloodstream, and this activates your immune system and then leads to inflammation. And the science backs this up. Studies have shown us that increased levels of a protein called zonulin, which controls gut permeability, are correlated with autoimmune diseases like celiac disease, type 1 diabetes, multiple sclerosis, Crohn's, and colitis. So your immune system isn't failing, it's just overreacting. And the foods that you used to tolerate with no problem can now feel almost like landmines that you're trying to navigate through. And inflammation isn't just about food. Food is a really big piece, but it's not the whole puzzle. So if you've been eating clean and you're still flaring, it's not because you're doing something wrong necessarily, it's because your inflammation bucket is overflowing. Let me explain what I'm talking about. So every day your body is trying to process chronic stress, even the good kind, like your career or taking care of the people around you, and poor sleep, and hormonal shifts, hello PMS and perimenopause and burnout. Also past traumas or unresolved emotional stress, gut infections, over-exercising, under-eating, or both. Your body doesn't compartmentalize these stressors. It just stacks them. And when that bucket overflows, even something innocuous like eating a piece of toast can be the tipping point to overflow that bucket and lead to a flare-up. And this is why one day you can eat something and feel totally fine, and the next day it knocks you flat. And let's be real, living like this is so exhausting. You're trying to show up for your work and for your family and just your life in general. And these unpredictable flare-ups feel like they control you. And because of this, it's really hard to make plans. It's hard to feel joy sometimes. And it's hard for you to just trust your body. But you're not failing, you're just under-supported. And I want you to understand that if you've been cobbling together a solution based on blog posts and Instagram reels and different dietary approaches, and maybe you're also trying some supplements that work for your best friend's sister who also has autoimmune disease. But despite all of this, you're really not getting better and you're really not seeing any results at all. That's not a reflection of your willpower. That's just a sign that, again, you're under-supported and you really don't have the right strategy. The truth is that you don't need more restrictions. You don't need another detox or random supplement. And you don't need more willpower. Sometimes we're told that when we're trying to heal our bodies or we're trying to meet some type of health goal that we just need to push harder, right? We just need to try harder because if we try harder, then it's going to work. But that's not really the case, okay? Sometimes it's, a lack of a specific strategy, which is kind of where I'm going with this. But, that whole idea that you just have to try harder is just going to set you up for burnout and failure. You don't need to punish your body into healing, okay? What you do need is a clear strategic plan that will help you to reduce your inflammation and repair your gut and finally get your immune system to kind of chill out. Now, here's the thing. Most of the women that I work with, especially the high achievers, have already tried all the things. And if that sounds like you, let me know in the comments below. They've read all the blog posts. They've saved hundreds of Instagram reels. They've printed out someone else's version of an elimination diet. Maybe they've even white knuckled their way through the whole 30. And when the flare ups are still happening, they think, I must be doing something wrong. But you're not. And honestly, trying to DIY your way through autoimmune healing can almost be like building one of those pieces of IKEA furniture. Have you ever done that? And you're trying to do it without the instructions and with half the tools. You might be able to put something together, but will it hold your weight? Will it last? So again, you don't need another restrictive protocol or a random set of rules to follow. You need a framework that helps you to figure out the root causes of your autoimmune flares so that you finally have some clarity. And it really helps to have someone to guide you through the process who understands how your immune system and your gut and your hormones and your stress response are all kind of talking to each other and how to calm that conversation down. And if that's something that you need, it's exactly what we do in my signature autoimmune harmony program. It's a really personalized, guided, step-by-step path that will help you to calm your immune system and repair your gut lining, which is integral to autoimmune healing, and discover your specific flare-up triggers. And just start trusting your body again so that you can feel great and stop worrying about when an unpredictable flare-up will happen. No more guesswork, no doing it alone, no needing to start over again on Monday. How many of us have done that so many times? I know I have. Just real science-backed healing with support and strategy and compassion. It's about taking you out of survival mode and getting you to a place where food works for you and your symptoms start to quiet down and your energy starts to come back. Many of my clients who go through autoimmune harmony have actually seen noticeable change in their symptoms and flare-ups within the first 2 weeks of the program. And they start to understand what's triggering their flare-ups. And it's so exciting for me to see them starting to feel better, but also making those connections of the reason behind why they're feeling the way they're feeling and what they can do to change that. So if you're tired of guessing, if you're tired of being so good, but still feeling so bad, I would love for you to go ahead and book a free autoimmune insight session with me. It's a free 30-minute call where we're going to look at some of your biggest roadblocks and what's preventing you from healing, what's triggering your flare-ups, and what the next best step is, whether it's working with me or not. It's a no pressure call, and you can find the link in the description box below this video. You can feel better even if it hasn't worked before, even if you've tried so many different things and nothing has worked. Now, if you're sitting there and you're thinking, okay, this all sounds great, but I've already tried to heal. I've changed my diet. I've spent hundreds of dollars on supplements. I've gone to different specialists and nothing has worked for me so far. Why would this work for me? I want you to hear me on this. Just because it hasn't worked so far doesn't mean it can't work. It doesn't mean that healing isn't possible for you because you're not broken. Your body is not beyond healing and your symptoms are not a life sentence. The problem isn't you, it's all of those scattered one-size-fits-all approaches that are failing you. I've worked with so many women who come in and they've been exhausted and discouraged and honestly pretty skeptical because they've already seen the specialist, they've already done the elimination diets, and they've tried going gluten-free and dairy-free and sugar-free and honestly sometimes joy-free. And despite all of that, they still didn't feel better. But when we finally got to the actual root causes and we created a plan that was specific to their body, things started to shift. And it didn't take forever. Sometimes it's just one key insight that you're missing that changes everything, like discovering an overlooked food trigger or a gut infection that's been kind of quietly going on under the surface and wreaking havoc, or a lifestyle pattern that's putting your nervous system in a constant state of alarm. So this week, I want you to try to make a mindset shift. I want you to try to really start believing that healing is possible and that with the right help and the right framework, your body knows what to do. Your body is capable of healing. Healing is possible, even for you, and especially for you because you're here. You're watching this video, you're learning, you're paying attention, you're showing up for yourself. You don't need to do this alone and you don't need to stay stuck. And if this video spoke to you, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments, is there a food that you're feeling nervous to eat right now or that's causing flare-ups every time you eat it? You're not alone, and by sharing your struggles, you might help somebody else and feel a little less alone too. And what I really love is to create a space in the comments section where we can learn from each other and support one another and really start untangling this fear around food and flare-ups together. So I'll leave you with this. If your body feels like it's at war with your food, it's not all in your head and it doesn't have to stay this way. It's immune confusion. It's stacked stress. It's a body that's been doing its best to protect you, and now it needs support and not punishment. In the next video, I'm going to show you exactly what to eat when you're in the middle of an autoimmune flare, and this is going to be simple, gut-nourishing foods that are going to help you to reduce your inflammation and support healing. Make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss it, and I'll see you in the next one.